I believe the new wife Angela got charged with something. I don't know if she's in jail or going through the processes or what. The husband Ian Diaz has never been, to this point, as far as I know, he still hasn't been brought up on any charges or anything.
What?
No, I think he's finally maybe now starting to get investigated a little bit, but yeah, as of right now, he's basically been living consequent free.
Wow.
Maybe they got something deeper on him and they just letting him go so they can find other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
or maybe I've seen too many movies.
Yeah,
I know.
That's
I'm with you, actually. When you said that, I was like, push. Damn, that kind of makes sense.
But and she is just still like trying. She's just in like how now she's just trying to put her life back together. She's in all kinds of debt, from the legal fees and from the bills that piled up while she was in jail, things that bills she couldn't pay. Plus, she was a student. What else?
Wow.
Anytime she goes on a date or goes to a new job or for a job interview, people Google her and all this stuff comes up.
Right.
And they know who she is. And it's like she's got to deal with it. And it's like she tries to decide whether she's just going to, nip it in the bud and put it out there right away, or it's just a hassle having to deal with that all the time. And even though it's over and she's trying to move on, she can't move on because it keeps coming up because of the internet.
I would have PTSD of being down for 8 weeks or 2 months or whatever she was in jail.
That's another thing I was going to say.
Like 2 weeks,
and not even knowing what's going on. No, I thought you said 2 months.
I'm in 2 months.
2 months,
2 months. It's like 2 months.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
That's a long time, but it's not a long time.
We
got dudes that been in jail like 20 years.
That's true.
And the dude we were just talking about earlier.
But you feel me? If my life came to a halt, and I'm like, I don't even know this bitch.
No, it's
everything you built was
and
uprooted.
then it's like this gonna be over in a minute, and it's a month, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And then it's 2 months. I'm like, oh my god. And I know you're right. It's people that's probably in the same situation, but it's been 20.
And ain't no articles about them.
Nope.
Right.
But if she was a dude, there wouldn't be no article about this.
No.
That's true. But it's also, this is so rare and crazy.
It is
this
rare and
is
crazy.
Very crazy. The fact that he was a police officer and he made a conspiracy with his new wife to do this to his ex-wife, and they really put her in jail without doing an investigation. That's sad. It's sad that this could happen to so many people, and who knows how many police officers are doing this and thinking that they can get away with it.
Well, there was an investigation. It just wasn't a thorough one.
Yeah.
Because, they had the
emails.
They suspected her because of all this stuff. But you're right. Somebody should.
Yeah, but that was stuff that they basically just handed to them.
Right, but that's where you go to extra and well, let me verify.
Right, exactly. And that's what they did after she was in jail.
Right.
And when they found out all the IP addresses led back to them.
And that's just so unfortunate. Like, how many police officers are taking advantage of that loophole or of that?
Right. I mean, if one of the things is against somebody is like, well, they were at this place at this time, the police have to go there and find somebody that saw them there at this time.
Yes.
So she sent these emails. Well, let's see where she sent it from. Let's prove that.
So yeah, masturbating at work is a doctor-approved stress reliever.
Oh, Lord.
You know what? Maybe in the workplace they're going to start putting signs up. Masturbation station.
Like when you go vote and you just close the curtain behind you.
Come into my masturbation station. We got lotion in here.
Lots of lube and paper towels.
So they said they took a survey of men and women, and they said a lot of people do this, men and women.
I've done it.
That's
not in my current job, but I've done it at my past job.
You do know?
You? Did you?
No.
Y'all both liars.
I'm not lying. I've gotten some at my job,
I was getting ready to
masturbated.
say, I've had sex at work. Not this work, but, I've had sex at work. But
I've had sex at work, but not
all
masturbating.
on the boss's desk.
You see what I'm saying? I've had sex in the... Clear the desk off.
But
when I had my retail job and I got really stressed, I would go in with my phone and some tumbler and some earbuds and work it out and go back, wash my hands and go back to work.
Yeah, you mentioned that before.
Oh, you must have it down pat, though.
I know it's a thing. I've heard of it. I've never heard of a woman doing it. I've heard of guys doing it.
You just got to be careful because sometimes you want to take a nap.
But yeah.
No.
So they're talking about, this article about this is talking about, it's good for you, good release stress, yada, yada, yada.
I believe that.
And then, so do I. But then they were talking about, which is kind of, to me, the ridiculous part of it, kind of like, I feel like, okay, if if that's the thing, and if there's some people do it and they do it, then that's fine. Let's just leave it at that. We don't. There's no need to formalize it or like make certain breaks or certain allowances for that or this or that, because that's weird. Like, how do you control what people are doing or not doing and different things? And then you bring in, you mix in work and sexuality. That's worse than church and state.
Yeah, ooh,
you know what
Lord.
I'm saying? That's not good. Like,
flog break.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't need to make it any kind of official type thing or anything like that. Just leave it how it is.
No, if you can't do it in 15 minutes, then it's not going to get done. You need to go home.
I don't know, but isn't this the beginning for either helping take the stigma away, or also corporate America and businesses? If doctors and people don't publish stuff like this, then they're just going to make rules against it. But this is the beginning of people just even leaving it alone.
How are you going to make a rule against
That's
it?
what I was going to say.
Well, I'm just saying, though, I bet if somebody told HR that you were masturbating in the bathroom, there'd be a problem with HR. But now that there's an article and it's doctor approved, it might not be quite as big of a problem.
All right, Pip, you reaching because you want to masturbate at work.
I think it's one of those things that's like it does not need to go any further. And then plus, like they were saying, they actually said this in the article too. If you start kind of co-signing on it, then you got problems, because they're saying like the doctors were saying it only should be done if you're doing it to relieve stress. You should not be doing it thinking about a coworker. Well, how you can control that?
Yeah, because it's
control what somebody's thinking about.
Like, you have to be driven by something to get you there.
You shouldn't be lusting after a coworker or thinking about a coworker. What are you doing? I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
I think it's one of those don't ask, don't tell policies.
Well,
like, if that's what you do, if that's what you want to do in the bathroom on your break or your private time, that's fine. I don't want to hear it, and I don't want to know about it.
I know, but the doctor is telling you what a healthy attitude for masturbating is, and that is true. And if you're going to do it at work, you should not be thinking about your coworkers, because that is going to eventually get you fucked up in trouble for some people. But that makes sense to me. That's a more healthy attitude. Plus, it's also people that are chronic masturbators because they have other mental issues that they need worked out.
I had a friend who was a chronic masturbator.
Can't control what somebody's thinking about.
No, but they're trying to tell you what's healthiest for you. And if you're thinking about your coworker at work while you're masturbating at work, you have a problem.
Yeah.
If you're having a fantasy to relieve some stress so you can go back and finish your mind-numbing job, that's different.
I don't know about that.
I see a big. That's a big difference between like a sexual predator and somebody who's just trying to release some pent up aggression.
Wait a minute. Why? Where did that word even come from right now?
Because if you're fantasizing about your coworker at work, you've sexualized your coworker at work. That's just.
And then you have to go masturbate.
You guys are fucking kidding me right now.
And then you have to go masturbate in the bathroom
I'm not saying people don't do it, but you might want to start thinking about what's going on in your brain, because it's like that.
I'm not here for. I'm not signing off on that. I do not agree with that.
That don't mean
it's possible.
Y'all are tripping.
I don't want.
Y'all are tripping.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Us and doctors are wrong, and Dino is right.
Oh, right.
Well, that's the way you want to phrase it, whatever. But yeah, that's some bullshit.
No, I think that it's a big difference between my coworker going in the bathroom to masturbate because he wants to release some stress, than my coworker looking at me in my work pants and he can't control himself and he has to go in the bathroom to masturbate. I think it's a big difference.
That's different, but you put extras on it.
No, that's exactly what it is.
Well, no, it's not exactly what it is. What
extra did I put on it? The pants part?
You said control. You said can't control himself. Because if he goes in there to masturbate for whatever reason, and he uses whoever he wants, and it happens to be you as a means to an end, I don't think that makes him a sick predator or out of control or out of line or any of those things. It's a fantasy that he's using to reach climax.
All right, but if somebody sees their coworker at work, a woman or myself at work, and by seeing me, they get sexually aroused to the point where they need to go masturbate, I think that there is like a deeper rooted issue.
Absolutely.
Than to someone using a thought.
Not always. It might be because it could be. Sometimes you have sexual thoughts that you can't control, and they might be fleeting. But I just think, like, you might want to look into that. That's all I'm saying. Why are you doing that at work? Why are you thinking about Cindy?
Every time.
Yeah.
Or every time you see Cindy, then you got to go masturbate.
So, like I said, you keep putting extras on it, but whatever.
No, we're not. We're not. We're talking exactly about what the doctor just said.
She just said every time you see Cindy, you got to go masturbate. That's different. That's different, and I don't necessarily disagree with that person might have some kind of issue or whatever. That if you see somebody every time you see, it could be your wife. If you see your wife every time you see her, you got to go masturbate. There's probably something going on with you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's different. That's different. That's not the same thing as like, you going in there, rub one out, and Cindy's attractive to you, and you use Cindy as whatever, as your fantasy, and you rub one out to Cindy. That's y'all like way up there with the thought police and all. Yes,
no, it's not. It's not being way up there with the thought police.
First of all,
and being
first of all, this is a symptomatic of the problem. You're not really hearing what we're saying. You just have your opinion, and you're not hearing us at all.
I am hearing you.
When no one said anything about thought police, I'm saying your mental health overall, you might want to question it if you're masturbating to people you're working with. And now it can be your prerogative to do it, but that don't mean you're in the healthy mind space.
I don't think you unhealthy just because you.
I didn't say you were unhealthy. I said you might want to look into it because you might not be. If you see symptoms of things that are inappropriate for the workplace, that might be. I mean, inappropriate relationships. That's all I'm saying. Whether it's being the mind. Granted, at the end of the day, if nobody knows, nobody knows. And if it doesn't play out and terrible, that's fine. But you might want to look into that. That's all. It could lead you someplace that you don't want to go and get you fired.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all. If it was children we were talking about,
hella stretch.
If you worked at a daycare and you went even off campus and the children,
so we're comparing adults.
I'm comparing thoughts to thoughts. It's just a thought, isn't it?
It is just a thought.
Okay, don't be the thought police. If somebody's thinking a child, then that's just a thought. It's the same thing as you're saying.
Okay. All
so
right. Well then, okay, whatever.
Not appropriate.
I'm sure there's plenty of people who think if you rubbing one out at work, period, you might want to look into that.
That's true.
But now
too.
doctors are saying
they are wrong. And a story said that. So.
Oh man. Well.
I agree with that, doctor.
Obviously.
It's obviously very tough to mix masturbation and work, you guys. It's just be careful with that.
Yeah,
very careful,
especially if you're working around like explosives.
So there's a highway in Washington where the Department of Transportation, they've changed the mile marker to read 68.9 because thieves keep stealing the 69 sign.
Now, we was talking about being petty. Now, this is the ultimate definition of petty right here.
I think of this as silly, like silly, juvenile, stoner type. That's how I think.
Yeah, I'm saying this is petty on the people that keep stealing the damn sign, not on the people that had to put out the 68.9 marker. It's a damn shame that they had to put out a 68.9 because people kept on stealing the 69 sign. That's just a fucking shame. That's petty. Leave the damn signs alone.
I know, but if you're 20 years old and you high all the time and drunk all the time, that seemed like a hilarious thing to have in your room. Just like if you just came out and you're like, I need to have that sign up there that says Gay Street in my room.
So yeah, and Washington
Playa Avenue.
Washington is not the only place that has had problems with this. There's other states that had to change mile markers like 420 to to 419.9.
Oh, wow.
Stuff like that because 420 is another popular one that gets stolen so much. And this one here in Washington, they said that it's not, you think of it like, oh, it's no big deal once or twice or they steal them a lot. And it's over $1,000 to replace it. It's over $1,000. And since I think it's 2000, since it was 2010, it's been stolen 600 and something times.
Oh my God. That's too much. That's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's been at $1,000 a pop.
I would say $1,000 is a lot, but it makes sense because you have to replace the sign.
You got to pay somebody.
I was gonna say you got to pay somebody to go out there and install it. That's ridiculous.
They should just open up a Marker 69 country store.
Oh my God!
Sell those signs out the store.
They should just sell them.
Sell plastic versions. People will buy them.
They will.
Probably would.
Right next to the damn sign.
That's more money for the state.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's a genius idea, Pip. But damn, that's crazy that people are still in the 69
and then you also
side.
have signs that say masturbation station.
Oh my gosh. And 420. I used to have a street sign, not me, someone who I knew used to have a street sign That they got off the street.
They got off the street.
They
Just
got
laying on the street.